Hey, good afternoon, JCPS. Happy Friday. Hope you had a great week this week as we wrap up the last full week prior to the holiday break. I hope you had a great week. We got 2 days left on Monday and Tuesday for all staff and students. I want to remind everybody, I believe that the sign of a great school and a great school system is when every day of instruction, every minute of instruction is valued. So I want to remind everybody we got 2 full days left. Let's make sure we maximize the use of those days for our instructional minutes and have 2 great days as we finish up before the holiday break. Another busy week for me. On Tuesday, we had our board meeting and a work session specifically on budget and finance for the 18-19 school year. Want to commend our board for taking bold steps to help our schools. We recommended to our board a couple of measures for support of our schools and our students. First of all, we asked our board and the board allocations to make sure that we returned funding to schools to prior levels, prior to the cuts that were made to budgets for the 16-17 school year that we heard from so many principals and staff members that were very painful for schools and cut out some important services to students. And we want to make sure our schools get that back. So that was recommended to our board. And we'll be making a final recommendation in our budget that we restore those funding levels back to schools. And also to take the bold step to make sure that every elementary student has access to music and arts and a rich music and arts curriculum. Research shows that that's so valuable for student learning. Our board is committed. We heard from them throughout the whole budget priority process how important that was, that every student, no matter what school they attend, has access to those excellent programs. And we are committed to making that a part of the 18-19 budget. So exciting times for schools, I think, to bring back some of those great services for students that they might have lost for the 16-17 school year. Also, during the board meeting, our board approved our CDIP, our Comprehensive District Improvement Plan, which is our roadmap of how to get better. This year, we greatly reduced the size of that CDIP and made it much more focused on the 3 things that I always talk about, which are improving climate and culture, increasing student learning, and improving organizational coherence. For all of our schools, I hope that your CSIP, Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, also reflects those priorities. We're talking a lot here in our cabinet and working about with our principals on developing that true North Star and our true north, where we're heading and making sure that we're all focused and heading in the same direction. So excited about that CDIP. Many times in the past it's been known as a compliant document. We don't want that. We want to make sure it's a roadmap for how we're going to improve, and I would encourage all of our school personnel to do the same thing and be an active part of that CSIP, that School Improvement Plan process. Also want to thank the League of Women Voters for having me out on Wednesday evening to speak to a large crowd at their monthly meeting. It was a great way to highlight the work that we're doing in JCPS, how we expect to get better and engage our community. So thanks to them. And finally, I want to thank all of our stakeholders throughout the JCPS community as we wrap up the first half of this year and head to the holiday break. It's been obviously a very busy first half of the year. Learned a lot through this process and what I've done in the first 6 months and how to continuously support schools and be active with all our schools. Probably the number one thing I've learned throughout this first semester visiting over 70 schools is what great schools we have in JCPS, and we don't highlight them enough. The great employees, the great staff, the great students, the engaged parents we have. And it's just been inspirational for me, and I want to thank all of our employees, teachers, staff, students, families for the support that they've given me as I've worked through this first half of the year. I look forward to continuing on the process, and I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Thank you. Have a great weekend.